Man, I'm really loving what Breitling has been doing recently. And that's not a massive surprise. I really liked the brand back when they were doing large, blingy, ostentatious, almost ridiculous watches. I've owned multiple Breitlings over the years, but man, recently they've just been killing it. They've been going in a great direction, and I have confidence that that will continue. And I've also noticed that I think some collectors are getting on board. I've seen a swell of enthusiasm for this brand. I don't think it's a full-on hype brand yet, but more people are getting on the train. They're getting on the bandwagon, and for good reason. I think there are some awesome watches out there. So I'm going to talk about 3 different models from Breitling that you can buy right now that's on the current catalog that would make an ideal rotation, in my opinion. And I do plan on buying these watches at some point in my collecting journey. I wish I could go out and buy them right now, all 3. But I've got to exercise some self-restraint and methodically add these to the collection at some point. So let me start with the first one. If I were going to build an excellent trio of Breitling models, I would want something that could be a great daily driver, a sports piece, a dive watch, a watch that I could take hiking, I could take camping, I could take, in almost any type of situation, and it would be waterproof, it would be adjustable, it would have decent lume, it would be a practical piece. And so I'm most drawn toward the Super Ocean Heritage 42, the Super Ocean Heritage 2 line. I think it's a beautiful watch that is a modernized version of their Sirius diver from the 1950s. So it has some great retro design cues, but it's still very much a beautiful, modern, sharp piece that absolutely looks brilliant outside of the showroom in natural light and on wrist. I've owned the 44. I think it's a good one, but it's a little bit large. The 42 is what I like the most. And it's hard to say no to any of the colors. The black looks good, the blue looks good, but the one that's speaking to me the most is the Sunray green dial variation. I think this one is unique because a lot of brands, when they do green, it's usually more olive or drab or military, and it's not this verdant, vibrant green that is difficult to pull off. And Breitling has really pulled it off here. So I would go with the Super Ocean Heritage 242, green dial, black ceramic bezel insert. I could wear this on rubber when I want to. I could put it on polished Milanese mesh when I want a little bit of extra bling and presence and light play and weight on wrist. So this one would be my daily driver that I take hiking, that I take camping, that I take in water activities, that I wear with shorts and a t-shirt or jeans and a polo. This one is a versatile, great piece that carries the Tudor movement, the modified B20 movement. Now, I'd like to pair this with something that would fit more in a dressy situation that wouldn't look great when I'm out hiking or something like that. They would feel more at home when I have a shirt and tie on or a sport coat or slacks. And this would be the Datora 42. This one carries that classic mix of traditional complications done in a copper dial with the premier branding, the name that has been around with Breitling the longest. It predates the Navitimer and the Super Ocean, predates a lot of the models, and it is such a classic and classy piece. And also, it's a little bit large, it's a little bit chunky, and I like that. I think this one would be such a satisfying watch to wear. I have definitely a soft spot for the Datora 42. And I can hear some of you in the comments going, Bruce, why would you buy that stupid Breitling when there's a Patek available in almost the same configuration and whatnot? Why are you buying an homage Breitling? That's a bad move. And to you guys, I say, hear this out. This is interesting. I learned this from a sales associate that sells both Patek and Breitling at the same authorized dealer. And he was telling me that the model that this watch is based off of predated the variation that Patek did. So Patek actually is doing the homage to the retro Breitling. The Datora 42 is the modern variation of the original execution, if that makes sense, if you followed me there. Such a great piece. So that would be the high contrast watch with the perfect blend of complications that I would pair with the, the 42 Super Ocean Heritage 2. And what would round out the trio? What would add some more variety in terms of style, maybe complication, maybe color? And I think it comes down to a couple things. You can't, this is hard. You can't have a Breitling without having a Navitimer. It's the icon of the brand. So, the aerospace comes close. There are a couple models that come close, but I have to go with the Navitimer. And I have to go with the one that's on my wrist today, the one that I purchased earlier this year, the Navitimer 1959 re-edition. This one is 40.5 millimeters. It plays more like a 40. It has the massive plexiglass domed crystal with a sapphire coating, beautiful dial work. It's the same dimension, the same font, basically the same watch that came out back in 1959. And if you think about that era, it was such a different era, down to, political climate. We hadn't gone to the moon yet. The vehicles of the era, the music of the era. This was the watch, the navigation timer, the navigation instrument for pilots of that time. And oh my goodness, I love the Navitimer. I love specifically this 1959 tribute here, this limited edition that has the BO9, which is a modified BO1 that's hand winding, super smooth action, very great watch. I think the combination of a black tile retro inspired Navitimer paired with the Datora 42 copper dial and the modern take on the original diver from Breitling, the Super Ocean Heritage 242, what a trio this would be. And I think this would be a very strong Breitling sub-collection in my own rotation in coming years, or it could be a standalone collection to where, hey, do I even need other brands? Should I sell my other watches? Can I just enjoy these three Breitling and maybe add that aerospace down the line, or something else that really grabs my attention? That's my ramble today. Let me know what you guys think of my picks. Let me know what you would pick if you were only going to collect Breitling. What models are speaking to you? And do you think this brand is moving in a great direction? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.